All the burned bridges and bad karma of Amanda Seales is finally coming home to roost. Before we can discuss the much-deserved downfall of Amanda Seales, we must go back in time and let you guys know why everyone on the internet hate Amanda Seales. This conversation she engaged in about Jussie Smollett sort of epitomizes and wraps up why everybody hates this chick.
If he really did do this to manifest it for attention, then it is a heinous thing to do, and he has to pay the price.
But he has never.
And if he didn't,
he hasn't admitted to that.
Right, and if he didn't, then he is owed an apology because he's getting dragged through this.
But
and
my
that
thing is,
unfair.
why aren't they bringing charges against the two brothers?
Well, I think
why aren't they bringing charges against all the white people that call the cops for BS every single day?
Then there's that too. The whole issue.
Every single day.
Somehow a conversation about Jussie Smollett receiving consequences for staging and hoaxing a hate crime for his own personal gain turned into a race baiting fest by Amanda Seales. Not only did she say Jussie Smollett deserves no consequences because some white folks get off for doing some bad things, she also said what Jussie Smollett did, if he indeed staged this and if it was a hoax, well, him staging a hate crime is actually a noble deed.
And even if it was a hoax for the sake of bringing attention to this, then I'm like, that's low-key noble.
And when she gets called out by the very audience that makes it possible for her to even be on a daytime show, this is her response to an audience member telling her, bruh, can y'all stop making everything about race, bruh? It's annoying.
Can we get at comic Loni Love and Amanda Seales to shut up about making everything about race?
Wow.
Not everyone is out to get a sister rolling eyes emoji. It's so frustrating watching every topic be made into an overweight issue or race.
Wow.
We get it, you're black and proud. Good for you, but not everyone is out to get you to stop making everything about race. Shaking my head emoji. Reading that for the first time.
That was a.
Eventually, the executives at The Real realized, bruh, that the race baiting and race antagonizing ain't really good for ratings. So they asked Amanda Seales if she could chill with the race baiting. She got offended, burned bridges by quitting the show and hopping on IG Live to down talk the executives that gave her an opportunity.
I've arrived because my contract is up at The Real and I did not renew it because it doesn't feel good to my soul to be at a place where I cannot speak to my people the way they need to be spoken to and where the people who are speaking to me in disparaging ways are not being handled. Mm-hmm. I'm not in a space where I can, as a full black woman, have my voice and my coworkers also have their voices, and where the people at the top are not respecting the necessity for black voices to be at the top too.
AKA they wouldn't let me race bait and race antagonize anymore. And she also stated that she wished that her voice would be heard just as loudly in the decision making as the executives who are being paid to run a network. This chick is crazy. Now, you want to know a form of oppression that she experienced at the workplace? Check it out.
Okay. So my producer at The Real, one of my producers at The Real, my showrunner at The Real, we were talking when we were doing Ahmaud Arbery, like when we were talking about that story, she was like, okay, so we're gonna talk about this, like, and she was like, but his name, Adrian, say his name, and Adrian was like, Ahmaud Arbery, and she was like, right, yeah, I just can't pronounce his name. And I'm like, you can't pronounce Ahmaud Arbery? First of all, the word Arbery is actually it may not be spelled the same, but it is pronounced the name. It's a study of trees. It's literally like in the English language. So it's not even like it's like some other, and I'm like, you know what's not in the English language? Your last name that has 7 consonants lined up against each other. And yet we are able to pronounce that. So I am.
Well, we gifted. We got it. But
yeah, so no, I was basically like, you need to learn this now. Ahmaud Arbery. And she was like, Ahmaud Arbery. I'm like, figure it out.
I'm going to just go out on a limb here and say that some people have difficulties pronouncing certain names, bruh. That don't mean they're trying to purposely do that as a microaggression for racism. Trust me. Maybe I'm just gullible. But we're just touching the tip of the iceberg here with why people hate this chick, Amanda Seales. Now, people also hate her, well, for trying to Me Too a well-established and respected ex-NFL player and current surgeon.
The one person that I actually got excited about, like, who had dropped in my DMs, I basically, like, manifested 2 years ago. I was like, this person is going to eventually fall into my DMs. Mm-hmm. And if, like, he did, we had a conversation, and I talk about this on my podcast, Small Doses. Like, within the first conversation, he's like, when are you coming to Boston? I was like, well, I'll be there February 23rd.
Well, we know he's from Boston
for
now.
my show.
We know he's from Boston.
And he was like, no, I need to see you before that. Easy, B. Like,
easy B.
Easy B.
The man she's referring to is Myron Rowe. Now, when a man wants you to come over almost immediately, he's trying to smash. He's not trying to be in a relationship with you. Apparently, she was off-putted by that. Cool. But that's not really harassment or off-putting or even concerning behavior.
I really don't take it lightly what I'm about to say. Because when you name names, you know, you put not only that person out there, but you also put yourself out there. But I feel as a woman who makes it my business to be a warrior for the truth, that it needs to be said. I, on my podcast and on The Breakfast Club, spoke about an individual who had approached me on the internet and who we spoke on the phone, and that they said some troubling things in the conversation that made me take a step back.
Take a mental note at how she painted him asking her to fly to Boston to see him as something troubling he said in the conversation that made her take a step back. Now, magically, just out of nowhere, she found 8 anonymous sources, other women who can validate her story and who also have predatory occurrences with Myron.
And that also, with literally like no investigation, it was brought to my attention that he had sexually harassed a woman by opening the door when she came to meet him for a date, butt naked. And then telling her that she was the one who was overreacting, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I heard that one story and was just like, whoa, that's crazy. When I spoke about him on my podcast and on the Breakfast Club, I didn't say his name. I literally just said a couple like characteristics about him. And it has been shocking and incredibly discomforting to me how many women, 8 as of tonight, that have come forward to say his name. They knew exactly who he was, to say his name, and that he had been incredibly problematic. And
this live stream of hers get worse because she then names him by name and put him on blast while she levies accusations as if they were the absolute fact and the truth, when these were just anonymous tips upon the assumption that she actually received those tips. She was saying this as if it was facts. And for her to go as far as to name him by name and then warn other women to stay away from him and call him a predator while this man have a professional career to maintain without any proof whatsoever, people were upset and outraged at what she just did.
You know, behaved in a very sexual, predatory way with them that some have said could have gotten him fired. So I say all that to say, if you are approached by Myron Rowe, you should just be mindful. I don't have empirical proof, but I've had enough women come forward saying that he was incredibly inappropriate with them, that I feel it would be inappropriate of me to not put the word out there that there is a man that is not being okay.
Myron Sales will take to Instagram to defend himself. Now, I'm not saying this dude is innocent. I'm just saying up to this date, Amanda Sales haven't really provided any type of proof to validate the accusations she levied against him. Myron would say that she's capping, she's lying, and that she's only doing this because she wanted a different type of relationship than he wanted, aka he wanted to smash and she wanted to be wifey. Now, he will say in regards to the other accusations that she's saying that other women are telling her about Myron, he will say none of it has been substantiated. He's not even sure if she actually got those stories from people or if she's making it up herself. Now, Amanda Seales will come back and really tarnish her public reputation by copping a plea and backtracking on the accusation she made against Myron.
Some things to address. 1. I never accused Myron Rowe of sexually harassing me or of sending me inappropriate DMs. What I did say was that via DM, several women have approached me accusing him of sexually harassing them. Second, I never said that black men were the cause for Jussie Smollett, and I also have never said that black men are solely the cause for holding black people back.
From this situation, a lot of people learned that Amanda Seales has issues. She has deep-seated issues with men. And that became clear with the Cardi B and Offset situation. So Offset went on stage, I believe, during a festival to win back Cardi B because Cardi B broke it up with him because he cheated. So he went on stage and apologized to his wife in front of the entire world.
You want to tell you I'm sorry, bro. First, in front of the world, I love you. But everybody got to do to show you, bro.
A very single Amanda Seales decided that she was going to make a video and speak on these people's marriage and apparently paint Offset as some type of abuser and toxic dude.
A boy of mine hit me today and he was like, I don't understand why people are saying that Offset coming on Cardi's show and trying to do a grand gesture is toxic. There's so much to unpack. In a nutshell, it's toxic because it is somebody who has created the negativity in the situation, trying to control the situation. He knew exactly what he needed to do to keep her in his life, and he did not do that. And now he's doing grand gestures, and it's not helpful because it doesn't correct the wrongdoings. Furthermore, it is him trying to control the narrative. But when he had the power to control the narrative with his own behaviors, he chose to be hurtful. It's no longer your narrative now.
People couldn't believe why she was getting herself involved and why she was trying to paint Offset as some type of like super toxic, abusive boyfriend. It was insane. But she didn't stop at just Offset and Cardi B. She would also do the same thing to DDG. When DDG was actually on Bootleg Kev defending his girlfriend being a Little Mermaid, Hailey Bailey, and saying, bruh, people are tripping for trying to say she can't play the Little Mermaid because she's black. Like, I didn't know racism like this still existed. And she would tell Hailey Bailey to break up with DDG because DDG was defending her on Bootleg Kev.
It was sweet, and she really liked that in person. So it's like, if people actually took the time to realize who's actually playing the Little Mermaid instead of just going off that she's black, I think they'd be like,
every once in a while, we get reminded like how terribly racist America still is.
Yeah, I didn't know people was this racist. I didn't know this was.
Neither did I, dude.
I thought this shit was gone already.
Halle Bailey's boyfriend, DDG, says he wasn't aware of racism was still an issue until the Little Mermaid backlash. I thought Martin Luther King canceled that shit out. Gotta break up with him. Gotta do it.
Again, people just couldn't understand why would she even involve herself and why would she attack DDG for sticking up for his girlfriend and telling his girlfriend to break up with him. It's as if like her intoxication for hatred towards men, she couldn't help herself, bro. Like, and she keeps on advising these women to leave their men so they can be as single as her. On top of attacking people who she don't know, she would attack her own friends or supposed friends like Issa Rae and her team. You see, so Issa Rae is somebody who gave Amanda Seales an opportunity to be casted in her hit series Insecure. When nobody in the industry would touch Amanda Seales, Issa Rae gave her a chance. And what did Amanda Seales do? Well, Amanda Seales decided she was going to publicly speak out against Issa Rae's team, or her publicist to be specific.
So a year ago, Issa Rae's publicist, Vanessa Anderson of AMPR, and some other people, they started doing a Black Emmy party. So it's basically like to celebrate like Black Hollywood. Of course, I work with Issa. So Vanessa is somebody who I have absolutely like met before, like when I had my web series on Issa's channel on YouTube. And I have interacted with her, you know, on a few occasions, but she has never been nice to me, ever. Like, she's always had a certain, like, curtness, and she's always seemed to be bothered simply by just like my demeanor, my way of communicating with her, etc. And at a certain point, it just became, well, then this is just not somebody I need to speak to, because I don't work for her and she doesn't work for me, and you know, there's no reason for us to even interact for all intents and purposes.
So despite admitting she already had issues with Vanessa's and other members of Issa Rae's team, she decided she was going to show up to their party and try to get in. And when they kicked her out of their party, she hopped online and made it a race thing.
The record, I am being denied entrance to the Black People's Emmy party. And it's a white woman telling me I can't go in. I just want to put this on record that I'm literally being told you cannot get entrance into a party that Jesse Williams invited me to, that is the only Black event for the Emmy weekend, because a white woman is telling me I can't get in.
So despite burning all these bridges, like the bridge she burned with daytime TV with The Real when they wanted to renew her contract, but she left because she thought she was bigger than what she really was, and she spat in their faces by calling them racist on her IG Live after she quit and didn't renew her contract. Like the bridge she burned with Issa Rae and her team after they put her on a hit series TV show. She's now on Instagram again, crying about how she's blackballed from all these venues and she doesn't know what's next for her because she don't have any work and nobody want to work with her.
So being my regular transparent self, I can feel people distancing themselves from me for my stance, professionally and personally. And I already got blacklisted this year from certain venues because I stood up for myself professionally when I was being what's the word? Scammed.
So nobody want to work with Amanda Seales in Hollywood or cast her for anything because she's proven to be a difficult person to work with. So she's been feeding herself through these comedy tours and comedy shows. And now she's saying that she didn't burn bridges in the comedy scene and now venues are banning her from doing her stand-up at their venues. Now, if she was truly scammed by those people and that's why they banned her from those venues, then I truly empathize. But knowing the history of Amanda Seales, where she's unable to take accountability and she's always the victim, I doubt that's the case. I'm almost certain that she burned the bridge as well with those people and they just didn't want to work with her no more.
I genuinely am unsure what is coming next. I think a lot of us feel that way. And then you feel that way and then you're like, you're not being bombed. How dare you? Yeah, you know, you're just like, am I gonna have agents?
Her fall from grace has been tremendous. Amanda Seales at one point was regarded as the next rising star in Hollywood. She was supposed to be where Issa Rae is. Like, Amanda Seales was on a trajectory of Issa Rae. She was supposed to be the new Hollywood brainiac black woman. But now she's on an IG Live crying about not even having an agent and not knowing if she'll be able to retain an agent to handle her business because she burned so many bridges and has been so difficult to work with that nobody want to work with her. Even agents who could pocket the extra 5% of her contracts don't want to deal with the headache.
What's the other side of this look like? It's very disconcerting. Very, very concerning. Ethically, morally, economically. You know, we have an election. I mean, it's just a lot to process. A lot to process, you know. I hope, I guess I just hope y'all support my work.
The last evolution of going broke. Listen, man, I done got dropped from everything, bruh. I hope the supporters, the little supporters I do have left, man, y'all got to support my independent ventures, bruh, because I ain't never getting another gig again, man. And it's sad to see this, man, because anybody could have warned Amanda Seales that the road of crashing out that she was going down was going to lead to this. But if you're still watching, man, let me know in the comment section, man, if you think her downfall is her fault or if the industry just, did her wrong. And if you're still watching, click on this video here somewhere on my screen to find out how Benzino crashed out after Coi Leray, his daughter, confessed and exposed this deep family secret. Click on this video here to find out what I'm talking about. I'm going to see you guys in this video, all right? I'm out of here, folks. Peace.